Welcome in March 11th. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. We are getting ready for my favorite holiday. There's the Irishman that I am up on the big board as well. We respect our Irish holiday here. Hope you're all safe this coming weekend. Have a blast doing it. So last week we talked about the vendors coming out, looking for the price increases. When is it the right time? When is it the right approach? How do you do it? But the sales approach in general has, I think, evolved over the years a lot, and I don't sell cars anymore, so it is very rare that I'm involved in a being sold position, ever. But I found myself in it recently. As we prepare ourselves for, to knit a little bit to the hat here, Being Social 2024 here in Madison, Wisconsin, which we are excited about bringing on the second event here. It was a lot of fun last year, and we're intending on having even more fun, bringing even more stars to the show. With it had come a whole new thing for us, which was our friends at OMG were gracious enough to take care of everything in Austin. So we wanted to return that favor, and we want to take care of everything here in Madison. So we decided to put on our scouting boots and go out and look for venues. And I had two places that I was pretty dialed into, that I was like, look, these are great hotels in town. They have venue, they have rooms, they have everything we would need. So these are my two choices. And if I don't find what I like here, I have a third or a fourth, but I really don't want to do that. So we crewed up, all of us, man. I mean, business partner, his wife, my wife, all of us. We went out and we scouted venues. And we walk into the first venue, and right as soon as we walk into the room, the four of us look at each other and we're like, wow, this is an incredible room. This incredible room, glass, views, gorgeous. The visit itself was fine. But that was it. It was the presentation room, and that was it. And there was very little talking and a little bit of this. What are you looking for? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can't do this. Oddly enough, it was like, hey, you can put 50 people in this room, but I saw like the fire sign that said 40. So I was all like, well, what's that? It's like, yeah, it's about how you set the room up. Oh, okay. There was potential, like with a balcony scenario where if weather happened, you were kind of screwed. So we're like, ooh, that's something to weigh against, whatever. But not the end of the world. And it was just going to keep everything in one place. Okay. So then we leave that venue and we go to venue number 2. And we walk into the room at venue number 2, and all four of us look at each other and we're all like, bummer. It just wasn't light, bright, airy. It wasn't that we thought. However, the woman who was guiding us she sort of sensed it to a bit. She was like, look, there are other rooms. Everyone perks up. She says, but before we get into that, let me show you the hotel rooms that come with the block. Shit, that didn't happen in the last place. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, cool. Let's go look. Now, full disclosure, we were already very familiar with that hotel. I mean, CarBiz basically started in this hotel, which is why it was on my list to begin with, because we had spent so much time there in the beginning, like an inordinate amount of time. And it was very interesting to see some of the same people at the front desk, managers in the bar upstairs, same people work there. I found that to be kind of interesting and intriguing from a perspective, but not in a way that I was like, oh, that's a good reason to do something here or whatever. So we go and she shows the room. She talks us through things. And then we start spitballing about the event. She's like, well, did you guys think about doing like, this or that? No, we hadn't. Oh my God. And it was just, you ever get that? You ever sit down with someone that like isn't trying to sell you something, but being consultative to you and trying to find out what you need? That was my approach. That is my approach. I don't really sell anything. I'd say 8 out of 10 people who know me on LinkedIn don't know what I do. It's because I don't sell it like that's not what it is. If you know because you need it. If you don't, you don't, and that's okay, right? So this woman was all about being helpful. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we get done with she showed us multiple other rooms, which we were all like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. But still, it wasn't like as overwhelming as the room we were in. So we leave and we walk around the square, downtown Madison, the Capitol building, and we have dinner at a place where we all like, or lunch, I guess. We hop in and we're starting to talk. We're all having lunch talking. So yeah, well, it's definitely the first venue is definitely the first place. Okay, here's why. There's my wife in the background going, yeah, but. We're like, yeah, but what? See, like, yeah, but this, and yeah, but the story, and yeah, but the approach. So just what she was imploring us to do was to stay open. Don't just get tunneled on that one thing. Same thing I suggest to people buying anything. Don't tunnel, because if you tunnel and someone finds out you're in the tunnel, you're trapped in the tunnel. You can't do that. Be willing to take another color. Be willing to take another car. Be willing to move to get a deal, to get what you want. That's how I feel. So she was doing it. She was good about it too. She's always good about it. And she's quiet, said a few things quiet. And then we got in the car and she's like, look, I don't know. I think there's a cool thing we could do here, and maybe we could piece together. And we always thought that we wanted, because of the way the experience was last year, the way it came together, was all in one place. So we thought that'd be really cool. Now these hotels, they're like 4 minutes apart by car, like 9 minutes by driving, right? Like we're not talking about days here. But the second hotel was right on the square, right? I mean, you're talking about the Capitol is your backyard. So then it was like, well, okay, all right, let's stay open. If something else, maybe we'll start thinking about it. Well, then we get into the actual follow-up process. Now, my ops director takes care of all that, but I see the emails. We have a shared inbox, and it's like days before this guy sees a reply. Unlike hey, next steps to doing business are what, right? Nothing. Fucking crickets. In the meantime, second hotel, hey, thanks for your time. Let me know if I'm still on your list. Would love to do business with you. Thanks. Bye. Okay, that was interesting, but I still like this fucking menu. And I, Sean, could not get it out of my head. So I was like, I like it. I want to stick with it. But as always, wives know better. And so my wife's like, look, think about it outside the box. What would you do differently if you went to the second hotel? I said, oh, well, we would definitely go around the corner and have dinner on the square. And it hit me. Boom, how sick is that? Like, we're talking like a 1 minute walk out of a hotel side door into the front door with the Capitol. I mean, it's going to be fucking beautiful, right? So I'm like, okay, fine. Let's look at that. Let's talk about that. And we did, and it started to evolve. And so we asked this woman again for answers, and we got nothing again at Hotel 1. So then I'm like, dude, look, why don't you just go over this chick to whoever, I don't know, I'm GM, I have no idea, but jump over this and see what's going on. They're like, oh my God, we're so sorry we didn't get back to you. Oh my God, we'll take it from here. Then they go and probably read the Lady of the Riot Act. She goes there. Now, she was like a satellite employee, though. So right away, we should have had our, antennas up, because satellite employee at an event-driven space probably isn't the best setup. The woman at Hotel 2, that was her job. That was her business. That's what she did. That's what she did. That's how she handled her business. So, okay, very cool. Very cool. She continued to follow up, so we started to talk with her about other things. These folks came back, and they changed kind of the offering from what we had based on our concerns of weather. They had kind of changed up what they were willing to offer us, which wasn't really as attractive or fun as initially thought. And the follow-up was terrible. Now, this is an interesting part, right? Because follow-up, like, I'm bad at follow-up, because I feel that in my career, that if people have wanted to do business with me, they find me. If you've met me and you know you want to work with me, that's what you do. And if you've met me and you're like, fuck this guy, I don't want to work with this guy, then you know that too. And that's the beauty, I guess, of having a totally ridiculous personality, is that it either endears or turns off, but it does both rather quickly. So when it comes to follow-up, it's just never been my bag. Never. Even when we were doing follow-up in the beginning of internet lead days, right? Like early 2000s, and people were like 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, 60 days, 9 days. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, if we don't get hold of someone in 10 days and communicate, we're good. They're probably good. And in today's world, with text, email, social, if you think you're vibing with a client and you don't hear any of that for crickets for 10 days, they either life moved them on or they moved on and did something else. Go ahead and touch it. That's not what I'm saying. Touch it, check in. Well, hey, how we doing? Whatever. But like the hardcore follow-up, it's just not for me. It's just not. And especially now with business to business, fuck that noise, dude. You either get what we're doing here or you don't. Anyone who takes more than 24 hours to say yes almost always says no. I don't know. And they didn't. And look, know something. We didn't call them. They called us. We don't out-call anybody, really. I mean, except when we launched this new social product, we outreached a couple people, but that was it. So outreach isn't our thing. And follow-up is not my thing. So anyways, the follow-up really set these two places apart. And so because my wife did an excellent job of making sure that I stayed open to option two has come together. And it's fucking amazing. It's going to be, mwah, it's going to be a beautiful event in a beautiful space with an unbelievable dinner to follow. So what I would implore you to do is mark your calendars for March the 24th, because there will be an announcement coming on Being Social 2024, and you're not going to want to miss it. It was a lot of fun putting it together. We're still nowhere near done with it. We've got a lot of great things coming, planned, and a few more in the wings waiting to sign off on. So that part of it's been fun. But the moral of the story, follow up. Definitely, I don't care if you outgo follow up, but if someone reaches out to you, you best be on that message in a heartbeat. And I am, man. Someone texts me to do business, it's moments later I'm in. My wife's like, oh, it's desperate. No, that's on top of shit. I'm not desperate for nothing. I don't give a fuck. That's why I didn't call them back in the first place. They called me. So that's the moral of the story. If someone follows up with you to do business with you, gosh, make sure you're on top of it. All right? Thank you all so much. Get ready. We've got a